What's up, everybody? Blessed be. My name is Mannun, and you are watching Witch in the Working, where we will be discussing all things witchy in and around, throughout and about, above, below, and beyond. Please visit me on my other platforms as well, including Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon, all linked down in the description below. The full script to this video and most of the others is available on my Patreon account for download if desired to build your own Witch in the Working Book of Shadows. Also, please visit my Shopify store listed in the description below to get your Witch in the Working shirts, mugs, stickers, bags, beanies, and what have you. So today is St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 2023. Apparently here in the New England area of the States, it's a pretty big deal. Half my workforce took the day off today, which just blew me away. That never happened back in Florida. So for us pagans, this is a day of controversy. Some pagans celebrate this day honoring the ancient pagan symbolism and traditions of ancient Ireland, and others detest this day as a horrible piece of history where Christianity brutally drove out paganism from the Emerald Isle called Ireland. In this episode of Witch in the Working, we're going to talk all about St. Patrick's Day and go over its pagan and Christian influences. So grab yourself a green drink of choice, throw on your lucky t-shirt, and let's get into it. Roll the intro. Welcome back, everyone. St. Patrick's Day, also known as St. Paddy's Day or the Feast of St. Patrick, is celebrated on March 17th every year to honor the patron saint of Ireland, St. Patrick. And the holiday is a time of celebration featuring Irish culture, food, music, and traditions, both in Ireland and throughout the Irish diaspora. The day is marked by a variety of activities such as parades, wearing green clothing or accessories, enjoying traditional Irish music and dancing, and indulging in food and drink. Some people also attend church services to honor the saint. As a cultural and religious celebration, St. Patrick's Day has become an opportunity to showcase the rich heritage and history of Ireland, while also being a fun and festive occasion enjoyed by people of all backgrounds. So who was St. Patrick anyways? St. Patrick was born around the end of the 4th century AD. The exact date is uncertain. He was a Roman British Christian missionary and bishop in Ireland. He's regarded as the patron saint of Ireland, although his exact birthplace remains a topic of debate amongst historians. As a teenager, Patrick was captured by Irish pirates and brought to Ireland, where he was enslaved for 6 years. During this time, he worked as a shepherd, and it's said that he found solace in his Christian faith, which deepened significantly. According to his own writings, he had a dream in which God told him it was time to leave Ireland. He managed to escape, returned to his family in Britain, and pursued religious studies. After becoming a cleric, he felt a calling to return to Ireland and spread Christianity amongst a largely pagan population. As a missionary, he is credited with converting thousands of Irish people to Christianity and establishing churches, schools, and monasteries across the country. He employed the native Celtic symbols and rituals to make Christianity more relatable to the Irish people, which led to the blending of pagan and Christian traditions. Legend has it that St. Patrick used a shamrock, a three-leafed clover, to explain the concept of the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, to the Irish people. The story, amongst others, has contributed to the shamrock becoming a symbol of both St. Patrick and Ireland. St. Patrick is believed to have died on March 17th around 461 AD, which is now celebrated as St. Patrick's Day in his honor. I feel like it's important to talk about the Christianization of Ireland to paint a clear picture and to realize that this was not the necessarily overnight super violent scenario that so many people think occurred. The Christianization of Ireland refers to the process through which Christianity was introduced and gradually adopted by the predominantly pagan population of Ireland. This process began in the 5th century AD and continued over several centuries. The Christianization of Ireland is often associated with the arrival of St. Patrick in the mid-5th century. As a missionary, he played a significant role in spreading Christianity and converting the Irish people. He established churches, schools, and monasteries which became centers of learning and helped disseminate Christian teachings. One of the key reasons for the successful Christianization of Ireland was the ability of early Christian missionaries like St. Patrick to adapt their teachings to the existing Celtic beliefs and customs. In other words, even though they were Christian, they recognized all of the pagan stuff going on, and instead of just saying, hey, don't do that anymore, they actually mingled the two together. They took pagan beliefs and took their Christian beliefs and somehow made them work together, so that it wasn't such a blunt force of like, hey, do this or you're in trouble. You know, it was kind of like a gradual integration. By incorporating local symbols, rituals, and festivals into Christian practices, the missionaries made Christianity more relatable and appealing to the Irish population. The development of the monastic tradition in Ireland further distributed to the spread of Christianity. Irish monasteries such as Clonard, Glendala, and Clonmacnoise, I think Clonmacnoise is how you pronounce it, became centers of learning, attracting scholars and students from all across Europe. These monasteries played a crucial role in preserving and promoting Christian teachings, as well as the Irish language, culture, and art. The support of local kings and chieftains was another factor that facilitated the Christianization of Ireland. As more leaders converted to Christianity, most likely because there was money involved in it, they helped build churches and monasteries, and their subjects often followed their example. I'd say I could use that term in some situations. When the king became a Christian of a land, usually that meant all the people became Christian as well. But I really believe that in this situation, it wasn't a violent situation. I believe that it was just, again, a gradual thing over time. In 664 AD, the Synod of Whitby, a meeting of Christian leaders in Northumbria, England, led to the adoption of the Roman dating of Easter and other Roman practices, which further solidified the Christian presence in Ireland and helped align Irish Christianity in the broader Christian world. The Christianization of Ireland was a complex and gradual process that saw the blending of pagan and Christian beliefs, resulting in a unique form of Irish Christianity that has left a lasting impact on the culture and history of the country today. So how did St. Patrick's Day come about? The introduction of St. Patrick's Day as a feast day can be traced back to the early 17th century. March 17th, the supposed date of St. Patrick's death, was chosen to commemorate and honor the patron saint of Ireland. Initially, the day was observed as a religious celebration by the Catholic Church, the Anglican Communion, and the Eastern Orthodox Church. In the early years, St. Patrick's Day was primarily a religious occasion, marked by special church services and prayers for the saint's intercession. The faithful would attend Mass, and in the Catholic tradition, the day was considered a holy day of obligation in Ireland. St. Patrick's Day often falls within the season of Lent, a period of fasting and penance in the Christian calendar. On this day, the restrictions on consuming meat and alcohol were traditionally lifted, allowing people to celebrate and feast, which contributed to the festive atmosphere associated with the holiday. As Irish people immigrated to other parts of the world, they carried their traditions and celebrations with them. St. Patrick's Day began to be observed in countries with significant Irish immigrant populations, such as the United States, Canada, and Australia. The first recorded St. Patrick's Day parade took place in New York City in 1762, organized by British soldiers serving in the British Army. Over time, St. Patrick's Day evolved from a strictly religious observance into a more secular celebration of Irish culture and heritage. Parades, music, dancing, and other festivities became integral parts of the day's events, and people of various backgrounds began to join in the celebration. Today, St. Patrick's Day is celebrated worldwide, often with little connection to its religious origins. The holiday has become an opportunity to showcase Irish culture and heritage, with green clothing, shamrocks, leprechauns, and traditional Irish foods and drink playing prominent roles in the festivities. The introduction and evolution of St. Patrick's Day demonstrates how a religious feast day honoring a patron saint has transformed into a global celebration of Irish culture and identity. Let's talk about the snake for a moment. In many ancient cultures, including Celtic and other pagan traditions, the snake has been a powerful symbol representing wisdom, transformation, and rebirth. The snake's unique characteristics and behaviors have contributed to the development of its symbolic associations. Snakes have been associated with wisdom due to their keen senses and their ability to detect vibrations and subtle changes in their environment. In some pagan beliefs, the snake is considered a symbol of knowledge and divine insight. For instance, in Celtic mythology, the snake was often linked to the Druids, who were revered as wise teachers and spiritual leaders. One of the most striking aspects of a snake's life is its shedding of skin, or molting. This process symbolizes transformation, renewal, and the shedding of old habits, limitations, or past experiences. In many spiritual traditions, the snake's ability to shed its skin is seen as an allegory for personal growth and capacity to embrace change. The snake's cyclical shedding of its skin is also associated with the concept of rebirth and regeneration. In various mythologies, snakes are often depicted as creatures that can rejuvenate themselves, representing a cycle of life, death, and rebirth. This symbol is evident in the ancient symbol of the Ouroboros, a snake or dragon eating its own tail, which signifies the eternal cycle of life and the interconnectedness of all things. In some cultures, snakes have been associated with healing and medicine due to their venom, which can be both deadly and curative. The caduceus, a staff entwined with two snakes, is an ancient symbol of medicine and healing, while the rod of Asclepius, featuring a single snake, is widely recognized as a symbol of healthcare and medical practice. The snake's dual nature, being both a source of fear and awe, represents the duality of life and the balance between opposing forces such as life and death, good and evil, light and dark. The snake's symbolism as a representation of wisdom and transformation is deeply rooted in the various cultural and religious traditions. Its unique characteristics have made it a powerful and enduring symbol that continues to captivate the human imagination all the way to this day. So why am I talking so much about snakes when this video is about St. Patrick's Day? Well, the story of St. Patrick driving out the snakes from Ireland is a popular legend associated with the patron saint. However, it's widely regarded as an allegory rather than a historical fact. There are several reasons for this interpretation. There's no solid historical or archaeological evidence to support the presence of snakes ever being in Ireland. The country's geographical isolation, combined with the Ice Age's climactic condition, likely prevented snakes from ever reaching Ireland to begin with. The story of St. Patrick banishing the snakes is often interpreted as a metaphor for the Christianization of Ireland. In this context, the snakes represent the pagan beliefs, practices, and deities that St. Patrick sought to eradicate as he introduced Christianity to the Irish people. The snake has long been a symbol of transformation, and the legend could symbolize the transformation of Ireland from a pagan to a Christian nation. The motif of a hero or saint driving out snakes or other dangerous creatures is not unique to Irish folklore. Similar stories can be found in the mythology and folklore of other cultures, suggesting that the tale of St. Patrick and the snakes might be part of a broader narrative tradition. The story of St. Patrick banishing snakes is not mentioned in his own writings or the earliest accounts of his life. It appears to have emerged in later hagiographies, biographies of saints, which often include miraculous events and embellishments to emphasize the saint's holiness and divine intervention in their lives. The legend of St. Patrick driving out the snakes from Ireland is more likely an allegory than a historical fact. It serves as a powerful symbol of the Christianization of Ireland and the triumph of the new faith over the old pagan beliefs. Some say that the snakes were actually the ancient druids. I think I mentioned that earlier, but thought I'd mention it again. So why is the shamrock associated with St. Patrick's Day? The shamrock is a three-leafed clover and is a well-known symbol of Ireland and St. Patrick's Day. According to legend, St. Patrick used the shamrock to explain the concept of the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, to the Irish people. The Triquetra, also known as the Trinity knot, is another Celtic symbol that shares a connection with the shamrock due to its representation of the number 3. In both the shamrock and the Triquetra, the number 3 holds significant symbolic value. In Christianity, the number 3 is associated with the Holy Trinity. In Celtic paganism and spirituality, the number 3 also has sacred connotations, with many deities, concepts, and elements being grouped in the threes. The Triquetra is a Celtic knot consisting of 3 interlocking arcs forming a continuous loop. It's thought to represent various triadic concepts such as the 3 realms of earth, sea, and sky, or the triple goddess, the maiden, mother, and crone. With the arrival of Christianity in Ireland, the Triquetra was adopted as a symbol of the Holy Trinity, reflecting the merging of pagan and Christian beliefs. The shamrock, with its 3 leaves, is also associated with the Holy Trinity, as I mentioned before, in Christian context. The legend of St. Patrick using the shamrock to teach the concept of the Trinity helped to establish this connection. However, it is worth noting that the shamrock may have held symbolic significance in pagan Ireland as well, possibly representing fertility or good fortune. The connection between the shamrock and the Triquetra highlights the blending of pagan and Christian traditions in Ireland. Both symbols share a common theme of the number 3, which has significance in both belief systems. As Christianity spread in Ireland, the meanings and symbolism of these symbols evolved, reflecting the fusion of cultural and religious practices. And what about the leprechaun? The leprechaun, a mischievous and elusive figure in Irish folklore, has evolved from its roots in Celtic mythology to become a popular symbol of Irish culture and St. Patrick's Day celebrations. The transformation of the leprechaun can be traced through several stages. The origins of the leprechaun can be traced back to Celtic mythology, specifically to the Irish tales of the Tuatha De Danann, a supernatural race of gods and heroes. The leprechaun is thought to be related to the Lucarpan, a type of small and mischievous sprite or fairy. The leprechaun is also connected to the Aos Seed, a group of supernatural beings in Irish mythology that includes various types of fairies and spirits. These beings were believed to inhabit a parallel world and could often cross over to the human realm, often interacting with humans in various ways, both helpful and harmful. As the Celtic myths and legends were passed down through generations, the image of the leprechaun evolved. It became associated with the idea of a solitary and cunning shoemaker who hoards a pot of gold. The leprechaun was often depicted wearing green clothes, a hat, and buckled shoes, and became known for its trickery and ability to grant wishes in exchange for its freedom if captured. With the arrival of Christianity in Ireland, many of the pagan myths and legends were adapted and integrated into the new belief system. The leprechaun's image continued to evolve, incorporating elements from both Christian and pagan traditions. The leprechaun has become a prominent figure in modern Irish folklore and popular culture. Its image has been commercialized, especially around St. Patrick's Day celebrations, where it is often portrayed as a symbol of luck and Irish heritage. The leprechaun has also made its way into literature, movies, and various forms of entertainment, sometimes portrayed as a comical, whimsical figure or a mischievous figure, and sometimes even a very sinister character, as well as many of us know the Leprechaun movies of series, where it's a real evil little dude who goes around killing people. The leprechaun's journey from Celtic deity to modern folklore highlights the blending of ancient mythologies, religious beliefs, and cultural influences over time. Today, the leprechaun is widely recognized as an enduring symbol of Irish folklore and heritage. And why the color green that is so dominant and popular during this holiday? The color green holds various meanings and significance across a different culture and context. In the context of St. Patrick's Day in Irish culture, the color green has become synonymous with the celebration and holds several layers of meaning. Green is often associated with Ireland, which is also known as the Emerald Isle, due to its lush green landscapes. The verdant countryside, rolling hills, and the abundant vegetation make green an emblematic color for the country. The color green has been connected to Irish nationalism in history since the 18th century. It was used as a symbol of rebellion against the British rule and was incorporated into various Irish flags, banners, and emblems, including the green harp flag of the modern Irish tricolor flag, where green represents the Catholic and nationalist population. Green is also linked to St. Patrick himself, again the patron saint of Ireland. Again, according to legend, St. Patrick used the green shamrock to explain the concept of the Holy Trinity to the Irish people. As a result, the shamrock and the color green have become associated with both the saint and the holiday that honors him. The wearing of the green is an Irish tradition that involves wearing green clothing or accessories on St. Patrick's Day, hence the shirt. This custom is said to have originated in the 17th century and has evolved into a global practice for people celebrating the holiday, regardless of their heritage. Green is also associated with various other meanings and symbolism that can be considered pagan-based, such as growth, renewal, and fertility due to its connection with nature and the life-sustaining power of plants. In some cultures, green is considered a symbol of good luck and prosperity. The significance of the color green is multifaceted, encompassing historical, cultural, and religious associations, particularly in the context of Ireland and St. Patrick's Day celebrations. So what are some pagan influences that still exist today in St. Paddy's Day? Modern St. Patrick's Day celebrations have evolved significantly over time, incorporating a mix of religious, cultural, and secular elements. While the holiday is rooted in the Christian tradition, it's also influenced by Ireland's pre-Christian pagan past. Several aspects of St. Patrick's Day celebrations can be traced back to pagan influences. For instance, St. Patrick's Day falls on March 17th, which is close to the spring equinox. This period was significant in the Celtic calendar and was associated with the festival of Ostara or Easter, which celebrated the arrival of spring, renewal, and fertility. Again, the snakes, as we already discussed, as well as the shamrock and the leprechaun and the color green itself, all of those things have their magical pagan connotations. all originally pagan influences that were slowly Christianized by the church. Some modern St. Patrick's Day celebrations involve lighting bonfires and feasting, which can be traced back to pagan Celtic festivals that mark seasonal changes and important events in the community. Although modern parades are not directly linked to pagan practices, processions and public gatherings were common in various pagan celebrations, suggesting a possible connection to earlier traditions. Modern St. Patrick's Day celebrations incorporate a variety of influences from both Christian and pagan traditions. This blending of beliefs and practices highlights the rich cultural heritage of Ireland and the enduring appeal of ancient customs and symbols in contemporary festivities. On my note of things, I think that Ireland is very unique in that sense that I'd like to visit there one day. I'd love to go there one day, between Ireland, Scotland, England, Italy, France. I want to visit all those places one day, before I die, which probably won't happen, but whatever. So, but I think it's unique how Ireland, unlike some other cultures, they weren't, Christianity kind of melded in and adapted with them. It wasn't so forced and pungent overnight like some places, and it really makes a difference. The fact is that nowadays, because of that, Ireland has a lot of pagan overtones and a lot of their Christian society, so to speak. Ireland is the one place you can go where you can go to ancient churches and see so many pagan carvings and whatnot incorporated into the church building itself, where they would carve to decorate the buildings in churches. There's so many pagan influences that are involved in it. That is, a major attraction to this day for tourists and whatnot to check it out, to see pieces of ancient paganism in Europe. Anyway, that's going to wrap up this episode of Witch in the Working. So what side of the track do you fall on? Are you a supporter of St. Patrick's Day as an observance of ancient pagan Ireland, or are you against it because it's Christianized conversion of ancient pagan Celtic practices? Let us all know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to ring that little bell to be reminded of wonderful and exciting future episodes to come. I love you guys and gals. Blessed be.